This is going to be a huge problem and a big disaster, and this could be actually the official ending of Meghan Harris brand, the brand that they are using most of the time to lie about, to throw people under the bus. I want to show you this dog. It just barked at me. I don't know where it is going. Maybe it's going for a hike or something, but it just barked at me and I was a little bit scared. By the way, guys, if you have dogs, make sure that it is not scaring other people. It's not very good. They have been using this platform for a very long time. This is where everything started, because if you remember, when they came to US in the beginning, they were asking people for help. For example, Tyler Perry, Meghan begged him and Harry, can we stay in your place? And they did, because they did not have money. But then the good thing at that time was that at least they were not lying about anything. At least they were keeping it quiet. But as we have seen, they were getting more and more deals. For example, especially about when they got the deal with Netflix, they started talking about everything. And they gave this interview with Oprah, and they were attracting more and more sponsors. And so it all started to show how and who they truly are. And so the interview with Oprah, don't think that it came before the Netflix. I'm pretty confident and sure they knew that by talking to Oprah and throwing the monarchy under the bus, they will be getting these deals from Netflix. In fact, I would go to the extent to believe that they knew that Netflix wanted them to do this. And it was probably, I would say, if not 100%, if you don't agree with me, there is a great possibility that going into Oprah Winfrey interview, Netflix already contacted both Meghan and Harry and told them, if you guys can make it a success, we're going to offer you good deals. Trust me. And so this whole thing is just falling apart. Netflix is now canceling Harry's show, and I'm not going to be talking about that show. The Heart of Invictus game has been cancelled, and I'm not talking about that. I'll not talk about that in this channel, in this video. The reason for that is because there is something more interesting that you probably do not know happening as we speak. But before I talk more in details about all of these topics, I want to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you're one of them, consider to subscribing. Okay, let's talk about what is happening. So the Netflix deal is falling apart. We know Spotify. Oh, look at the car. Wow, how fast they go, right? We know that Spotify, they're saying that we are counting loss after the podcast of Meghan Archetype. It failed tremendously, and they had this huge loss. They're cutting jobs. 400 people altogether are losing their jobs with Spotify. And the reason for that is because Spotify cannot afford to keep them anymore because of the money they spend for Meghan, her podcast. It was very expensive. She raked in almost $18 million for Spotify. Can you believe, for spitting all those garbage, all of this nonsense that she brought in to her show? They gave her $18 million for that. Can you believe it? So this is a big disaster, and Netflix is also a big failure. And Netflix is slowly but surely making sure that they do not have any association with Meghan Markle, looks like to me, because the Heart of Invictus game was the first official project that they wanted to work with Harry and Meghan. But obviously there is this rumor coming from Twitter account, from social media, that this has been cancelled. And I will believe this. I will believe this because I have all the reasons to do so. Think about what they're doing recently. The New York car chase, it was a big flop. They wanted to make it a big deal and gain people's empathy. But we all have seen how fake they were. And so Spotify, Netflix, all of these people, they are watching their popularity, and they see that it is going to be a huge risk to cast Harry or Meghan in their shows because of what they are doing with the car chase, with the monarchy throwing them under the bus for really no reason, coming up with new porkies and lies. Harry going to UK, going to the Veterans game the other day in San Diego. Nobody even looked at him. So they know, Netflix, Spotify, they know that this guy is good for nothing. Why should we take any risk? And I mean, I think Netflix also looked into what Spotify is going through, and that is that they gave them $18 million. In return, Meghan did not give them anything, a single penny. It is a big loss. Netflix is taking notice of all of this and they're learning their lesson. Slowly but surely, they're learning the lesson, and this is a good thing. What will happen now is that because these are all flops, big failures, Meghan and Harry, they're now planning to use use the kids. Yes, guys, this is what I want to share with you today. They are using their kids and they have agreed to multiple projects. We will be showing our kids. Not only that, they are going to be actually selling products in the name of Archie and Lily. This is not what I want to share with you only. What I also want to share with you is this. If you remember, they have this title fight going on for a long time. Meghan was very adamant. She in fact blackmailed the monarchy, telling them if you don't give them the title that they deserve, quote unquote deserve in Meghan's head, then I am going to be exposing. She said in one interview, remember, she said, I have many more things to say, but I'm not going to say it. She was actually telling the monarchy, I need those titles. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to be telling a lot of things. And I think what she meant really at that time was her relationship with Prince Andrew, and she knows all of those nasty details. I mean, she can make it up, no problem. She always lies, she always does that. But this is how she blackmailed the monarchy. You give me the title. So now that we have this title for Archie, Lily, surrogate kid, fake kid, whichever way you put it, now they are relaxing. Now they are saying, okay, everything is flopping, everything is not panning out. Netflix, Spotify, this deal, that deal. But wait a second, we have Prince Archie, Princess Lily. So they are going to be using these kids money machine as a money machine. So what happened, if you take a look at what happened in during the pregnancy of Meghan Markle with Archie and Lily, we have seen how she was faking the moon bump, okay, the pregnancy belly. And the reason for that was very straightforward and clear. And that is that we must have to have a baby. At least we have to show the whole world that we care for the baby and we want to have a baby, and we have a baby. Without babies in the future, they chalked out their future plan, guys, from a very long time. And then realized both me, means Meghan, and Harry, they are good for nothing. They have no talent, nothing to offer except the titles. And this is why we have seen them using that all the time. So they knew that everything will flop, everything will be a big failure. So at what point, if they want to make their brand be a product, or if they want whatever they want to sell, then they have to involve their kids. And this is how it all about. I don't think Meghan Harry never ever plan. I don't think so. I don't think they plan to have babies after the marriage. They started to have these plans when they realized that everything is going to flop. Everything is going to be a failure. Because remember, since Meghan became part of the monarchy when they got married, people were not talking about Meghan and her talent, her past at all. Not a single media, paparazzi or British media reported about her past, how talented she was, how good she was in her engagement with Suits. If you remember the series, the show, they were only talking about Meghan Markle's relationship with the British monarchy. So from the very beginning, they knew we have really nothing to offer to the world, and therefore at one point we would definitely need something else, and that something else is the kid. And this is why we are seeing that they have agreed, they have signed many contracts, and they're getting very lucrative deals for the kid. And this is not something you have heard probably. This is something coming in the news recently. Meghan, Harry, they're desperate. They have to pay for the mortgage for the Montecito mansion. They have to keep living the life that they have planned. They have to be in the Hollywood A-listers category in terms of money, finance. For all of this to happen, they must come up with some new plan. And this is why they are getting very desperate. And we know Meghan is right now very quiet, guys. She is very quiet, but don't think she will be this quiet for a very long time. She is about to come out. She is about to come out and make some bombshell claims about the whole situation that is going on. She will tell us a lot of other things that we do not know, and if she has to lie again, she will do that, no problem at all. This is my neighbor. He's a nice guy. He's from Italy. He's actually the brother of the owner of the house, but he's a very nice guy. Things are not panning out for them, and when you have hungry wolves, remember Meghan used the word, they throw me to the wolves. When you have hungry wolves like Meghan and Harry, you better be careful. especially for the King Charles, and for all of us. And at the same time, we know they're also just desperate because Harry's visa application, he doesn't even know if he will be in the US and for how long. He might be deported, who knows. So they know everything is failing, so they have to come up with something spectacular, something that would make them a lot of money, and this is why they're using the kid to get those deals. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribe. See you in the next video, guys.